Hello and welcome to Hey, Have You Seen That Film? Where this video I will be ranking Daniel Craig's Bond, James Bond, because he just came out with his very last film, and if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to tell you now, there will not be any spoilers in this video, because I'm not about that. I want you to go enjoy the video yourself, not the movie yourself. But I thought it would be fun to rank Daniel Craig's Bonds according to my opinion of them, which I'm just going to throw out there. It's probably going to shock many of you. In the beginning it won't, but then we'll get to it. Daniel Craig's Bond, I thought Craig was a great Bond. He was always entertaining, and he brought more depth to the character, which I liked. That wasn't always there. What was great about his films is there was always a continuing story. Something that we really hadn't seen that much since Connery's Bond movies, because Connery was fighting Spectre in most of his movies, and they all kind of, not always, but they all kind of connected back to Spectre. I mean, Goldfinger is its own, it's the exception, because Goldfinger was just his own man. He just, I want to do this. But the rest of Connery's were all connected through Blofeld and Spectre, and Craig's were the next one to, nobody else kind of, the rest of them was just kind of like, it was an individual story Bond film, and it was cool to see a story that started here and we were able to watch it through with Bond and watch his character grow. Anyways, let's get right down to it. I've already talked too much. Let's get into my rankings. Coming in at number 5, Quantum of Solace. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I never even finished Quantum of Solace. I started at a buddy's house, and we probably watched like the first 45 minutes to an hour of it, and then we started doing something else, and I just never got around to finishing it. So, I mean, it would be fair for me to go out and finish it and then maybe re-rank these. But from what everyone hears, but then again, what everyone says, we're our own people, so the way we view something is completely different from how you might view it. And we're going to get to that in just a moment. But, yeah, I haven't actually finished Quantum of Solace. It was years ago that I started it, but I just remember not being as entertained by it when I was watching it, and not really knowing what was even going on. So we're putting that in number 5. Number 4, and people are going to lose their minds when I say this, Skyfall. I want to be honest, I don't get the hype around Skyfall. I really didn't. And it might be I watched Skyfall for the first time actually just about a month ago. I've always, growing up, I've been a big Bond fan, and I just never got around to Skyfall, oddly enough, and I just didn't get into it. I mean, there was some cool things about it, and I don't know, I just think maybe I viewed it too late because everyone talked it up, and in ranking videos of Bond, it's typically within the top 5, or sometimes number 1, and I don't know. I think the biggest issue I had with it is that there was a woman in the movie who you find out that she's a sex slave, and 5 minutes later, Bond's sleeping with her. Like, that was a huge, like, ugh, like, what? I don't know, that might just be the social worker inside of me being like, are you kidding me? That's so messed up. It really was. So that was a big thing for me that kind of really got me turned off to Skyfall. But even then, I just wasn't enthralled by it as I am with some other Bond movies. So, number 3, Spectre. Now, this is also interesting because a lot of people didn't like Spectre as much. They didn't think it was as good, and maybe that had an impact on me because I was expecting a so-so movie, and I really enjoyed Spectre. I thought it flowed along well. I liked the introduction of of Blofeld. I mean, I can see why some people are like, oh, the whole Foster brother thing just is like, and I get that, but I don't know, something about Spectre, maybe it was just because it kind of felt like a classic Bond movie to me in a way. Maybe it was more entertaining to me about it. Yeah, I think it just felt more like a classic Bond, and I enjoyed that about it. Coming in at number 2, Casino Royale. Now, I actually really enjoy Casino Royale. I remember I watched it when I was younger, and then, it had been a long time, and I rewatched it again when probably a couple years ago was like the first time I had rewatched it again, and I really enjoyed it. I love the whole poker match and Bond being able to read people and their moves and failing and then succeeding and falling in love with Vesper, and there's so much to enjoy about Casino Royale, and it was such a knockout when it came. Like, it was a great way for Daniel Craig to be essentially saying, yeah, I'm Bond. Like, I did this. I'm the one playing Bond now, and everyone got behind it after that. Because it's Bond, like, it's such a big role to fill in, and I know there was some controversy when Craig first stepped into the role, but after that, I don't think anyone questioned it. It was like, okay, yep, you did it. You impressed us. And he did. He really did. He did a great job, and we gotta be so grateful to that, because it's introduced us to... It introduced the world of Daniel Craig, essentially, and now we have other great films that he did, Knives Out, Cowboys and Aliens, can't forget about that one. Classic. I've only seen it once. But yeah, Casino Royale, it did a great job at introducing us to Daniel Craig and making us want to see more of him as Bond. And coming in at number 1, No Time to Die. I was thoroughly impressed with No Time to Die. The way it kind of... We all know it's Daniel Craig's last Bond, and the way that he kind of gives his send-off was such a unique thing that it was a really good movie, in my opinion. One of the best Bond movies, I would go as far as saying. I know people probably like it was good, but not that good. I don't know. I thought it was wonderful. Let's acknowledge the fact that the Bond girl came back. That has never happened before. She's never ever come back. She's typically just the love interest or the girl that gets killed 30 minutes into the movie so he can further his investigation. And the fact that they brought back Madeline Swan was huge. And I just the way... I don't know, for me it felt like Craig just had fun with the movie. There was a lot of scenes in there that it just felt like he was just enjoying himself. And I thought he did a great job at wrapping up his collection of Bond, his storyline as Bond. And so, yeah, I was glad to get one more out of him to really tie off that story, to finish it off. So, which is kind of funny because traditionally, for most, the last Bond film they do really isn't that great. Diamonds Are Forever by Connery is quite honestly one of my least favorite and very disappointed Bond movies. I was very disappointed by that. Roger Moore had A View to a Kill, which I don't think was the worst. It had some redeemable moments to me, but he was very old, and it wasn't the best Bond movie, again. And then Die Another Day, which started off strong, and this is Pierce Brosnan, started off strong, and then it just slowly got worse and worse and worse, just more cheesy. Dalton had a perfect run. Dalton's awesome. And then Lazenby only had one, so we can't really discuss his. But Craig, I think it was great. Craig had a great start and a great finish. So that's my ranking of the Daniel Craig Bond. James Bond. And that was the best I was going to give for you. So, if you agree with me, let me know. If you don't agree with me, I'd love to know. I'd love to hear your ranking. I love people's rankings. So rank them down below. Tell me what you think. And thanks for watching today, and I'll see you next time on Hey, Have You Seen This Film?